At my school, there was this guy who was the typical dumb troublemaker. Let's call him Speed. Speed never did anything in class. He just doodled in his notebook and chatted with the people in the back row. The back row slacker. I was never friends with him, and I didn't really like him either. I thought he was just okay. But he had this annoying habit of eating pens. Yes, not chewing pens like normal pen chewers. He ate the pens. There was nothing left. That's why no one would lend him a pen.
I couldn't believe it! What the heck?
Then one beautiful day, I remember it clearly. Sunny skies, warm weather, I was super happy, nothing could go wrong, right? But of course it did. The teacher at the time, who, by the way, was really beautiful, walked up to Speed's desk and asked why he was writing in pencil. She said if he didn't write in pen, she wouldn't check his notebook. Then, this teacher, again, super beautiful and my favorite teacher, asked me if I could lend him a pen since I had two. And I thought, are you crazy? That brute is gonna eat my pen. But since she was not only super beautiful, but also my favorite teacher, and it was my favorite subject, math, I said yes. I could lend it, but I told him, Speed, don't ruin my pen, man. So I spent the whole class just watching him, waiting to see if he put my pen in his mouth. When the class ended and recess came, I asked him to give it back, but he asked to keep it until the end of the day. And I thought, okay, fair. He hasn't eaten it yet, so maybe he's changed. When I came back to class, he was sitting really far away and I couldn't see what he was doing. But I had so much faith that he wouldn't eat my pen. I felt like an angel already. Then at the end of class, he gave my pen back and it had no body left, man. It was just the ink and a bit of chewed plastic. He even chewed the plastic. Dude, how can someone hand back a destroyed pen and think it's fine? He really didn't see any issue with it. But since the pen was destroyed anyway, I told him he could keep it. And he even thanked me. I didn't punch him only because I'm against violence, and I went home. After that, I only kept one pen on my desk, just in case that very beautiful math teacher asked me to lend one again. There was a time when the slightest issue was enough for me to skip school. Is it raining? I'm skipping school. My shirt's wrinkled? I'm skipping school. Power went out? I'm skipping school. My friend's skipping school? I'm skipping school. I miss school so often I don't even know how I never failed a year. I missed school so much that one of my nicknames was New Student. There wasn't a single week where I went to school every day. I had to miss at least one day per week. It was my rule. If I ever went to school all 5 days, I would probably die. I remember in 5th grade, one day before the graduation, the teacher said,
This is the best class in the school. Everyone will probably pass the year, except Jimmy. He misses too many days.
I didn't even know a teacher could publicly embarrass a student like that, but she lied. When I went to the graduation, shaking with fear, knowing I probably wouldn't get my diploma and my dad would kill me, I actually passed and got my diploma. So yeah, the teacher only said that to scare me, or just maybe to teach me a lesson so I wouldn't skip again. Anyway, there was one day I really didn't want to go to school. I was addicted to a game and just wanted to skip class to play all day. But here's the thing, that day was the math test, not the big exam, just a special test for students with low grades to help them pass. So, no makeup test, one shot. But I didn't know there was a test that day. I had forgotten. Usually my smart friends reminded me, so I just decided to skip school and play games. And I went to sleep. Then I woke up and gamed all day. At the end of the day, I saw a message on Skype from my friend. There was a test today. And you know that instant regret you feel the second you finish something dumb? That was it. The next day on my way to school, I knew the guys were gonna destroy me with jokes for missing the test. So I had to come up with a really solid excuse so they wouldn't make fun of me. Then I saw them coming with that evil grin. And it started.
Yo, Jimmy, you missed the math test. You're screwed.
You're such a noob. Why didn't you come back, idiot?
My grandfather on my mom's side died yesterday.
Dang, man, I'm so sorry for real.
Are you okay?
Of course, my grandfather didn't die. I lied. In fact, I never even met him. He died before I was born. But the guy started being super nice to me until the school gate opened. I didn't expect that. Honestly, I thought they'd laugh even harder when I told them my grandpa died. Then when I got into the classroom, they had already told everyone my grandpa had died. People came over to my desk to comfort me. And by then, I was already regretting it. It would have been better to just be clowned on for 5 minutes. Everyone would forget soon anyway. But then the math teacher walked into the room. And I was praying no one would say anything to her. Didn't help. Speed, who wasn't even that close to me, went up to the teacher and said,
Hey teacher, Jimmy missed the test yesterday because his grandpa passed away. Can you help him out?
Jimmy, is that true?
Ha!
All right, I'll give you the test later so you can take it, okay?
Dude, I felt so guilty at that point. I wanted to confess, but I couldn't. It had gone too far. If I told the truth now, people would crucify me at school. Okay, not literally, but they'd be so disappointed for me lying about something serious. By the end of class, the teacher gave me the makeup test, and I hadn't even studied. I didn't know any of this would happen. Still, I took the test with no clue what I was doing. And the worst part? I got a decent grade. Good enough to not fail math. And to this day, none of my friends or the teacher know it was a lie, because I never had the guts to tell them. But even though I regretted lying, I realized something. Even though my friends were a bunch of idiots who joked and talked trash 24/7, they actually cared about me and my feelings. Something I didn't expect from them. That made me see them differently after that day. And you know what's funny? I've never told this story to anyone. So, what did we learn from this story?
Lie to everyone you know to gain an advantage in life.
Just kidding, guys. Lying is wrong.